Hey everyone, and welcome back to Comic Studio for this day. And where today we're going to be searching for about that something is absolutely going to be even futuristic. So we're going to be searching for this thing as well, but I just didn't actually that I just heard from the television, but I just absolutely heard from the smart TV, and especially that I just heard the music sounds extremely beautiful as well. Even that we're going to be added music as well, but this is going to be the nostalgic begins as well. It ran from 2004 to 2013 over for one thing as well. I mean, for some sort of like these, but I cannot believe that it's absolutely running for 9 years. But I didn't believe that isn't going to be that I just trying to find out. Whenever it does, it's absolutely running for 9 years for some sort of like these things. Nothing that will be the story as well. That since that Windows 7 was released, and probably sometimes that was made in Japan for some sort of global efficiency for around the world, but I never believe, except landmarks, that we figured it out. We absolutely found anything itself for here. So, without further ado, before we started around here as well, we're probably for something as well for posting around for Automotive Marathon Comic Studios. I mean, Automotive Marathon and Comic Studio that I just recorded around in these videos. For each comic studio that I add real cars from the real world. Whenever that I never heard it for, that you probably heard out in the comments around here that you said that anything as well. For some sort of that says here, well, what is there a car in crossovers? Especially I was very crossed as well. Anyways, let's get right there to Frutiger Aero Comic Studio. And here it is. This is probably for the part of the future as well, and could be for certainly like these things as well. Contains around for some sort of a local things or whenever local rooms, whatever some sort of the future it was. But as we scroll down, it was absolutely for some sort of like the Dreamcast as well. It's not back in Xbox 360. I wasn't in Windows 7 anyways. When I was at Windows 7, I have looked around here, but this is where the future is absolutely over 10 years ago. 20 years ago, I never able to be seeing for these things as well, for some sort of like these. Before when I was born, it was probably debuted or some sort of post in 2004. But as you can see into the description, Frutiger Aero, as also known as the Web 2.0 Gloss and Digital Dream Utopia, is a board design styled and aesthetic that was prevalent in advertising media stock imaginary and technology roughly from 2004 to 2013, followed the year end of the Y2K era and providing overlapping with the McBling or the McBling and Electropop 2008 Aztecs or the Aztecs, and probably it is characterized by its vast use of cyclopontanism, glossy textures, cloudy skies, and tropical fishes. But instead of automobiles, they used hot air balloons, flying cars, butterflies, trees, global things, whatever it does, bubbles, and probably lots of more things without anything inefficient. Nothing world says skeuomorphism wasn't actually for some sort of like these things as well. Especially I'm recording almost at 5 a.m. and probably seeing the old Korean bus right over here instead of this. Whenever it's going to be for around here as well, for Frutiger Aero Comic Studio. It was dedicated to the aesthetic of Frutiger Aero from the 2000s. And this will also include from the aesthetic and appeared in the 90s on computers, starting from Windows XP and all the way to Windows 8. I'm probably not sure. The Windows 8 decided to change everything as well on its path before Windows 10 was released 10 years ago. So let's absolutely find out what is going on around here. But things are started a little bit pixelated as well, with only two characters, such as fishes and for some kind of persons. Even for some sort of like many other kinds like the fish, could be almost everywhere. The early computer has no characters, except the backgrounds that we absolutely having for a little bit amount of devices, and at least there are no effects like anything as well. Probably that must be for old-fashioned digital stuff that probably everything look outdated that much. Unfortunately, Windows does not accept for these things as well. Some images are depreciated as well. It was depreciated from over 10 years ago. It was probably slightly 12 years ago, even for one thing. Not overall from the phenomenon or like those things like any kinds of oh no, I shouldn't able to be forgotten around here for to do this. I wasn't ready for when I was just going to be reviewing for some images. They look probably anything efficient, and for some sort of like they try to say like in the even this way as well. So there's nothing about for the user submitted sprites, except we have certainly using for the crossovers as well. The backgrounds have looked great, even for some sort of an underwater reference, including this thing as well. Some sort of the early computers, such as Microsoft, Google, eBay, and probably like any kinds of progress. So when over here, it's absolutely that your favorites could be even this, and exactly it is the perfect thing that you seen this in the future. But nothing in the future it goes beyond for 2050s. The future would set for efficient way to eliminate all the pollutions by 2040s earlier, and for these things as well, for some kind of to build things like even for what as well. So things might slightly getting smarter as well, even though China is dominating and ruin everything as well. Japan have decided a plan to remember as well, except United States because of Elon Musk. Even this is our way to build the future as literally even possible. When I added for some sort of image, this will do as well. There's some kind of computers like these things as well. And probably there must be a little bit more as the futuristic things as well. And for some sort of like these, it couldn't be for such as like no matter it was. And that must be for some sort of like these. And for some kind of futuristic reference, isn't going to be for such as like anything as well. And for some sort of like the shops, even for the living oh no, I just clicked the wrong one. And probably another one as well. And finally, let's probably find out what is going to be a little bit next as well. Their vehicles included around airplanes and probably like anything as well. But not the boats like anything it goes. There are featured shops like for the future shops for some sort of device shops could be around not anywhere it goes. It was only one place that stands for, but I cannot believe I never seen this in real life. Turns out it transformed into nothing else, into some sort of for a little bit complex. And nothing anymore for about for like these things for something even imaginable and pretty some kind of beautiful things whenever it goes. Anyways, let's just probably use the crossovers and see what it's absolutely going to be taking a little bit hours, spending a lot of time again. So this marks the end of this video, and probably that hopefully that we're going to be finding it somewhere else as well, but that one might able to be the end of like those things as well, for some sort of like to do this as well. And tomorrow morning could be the last video of the schedule, but I'm not pretty sure that it's still going to be rolling off as well. And that wasn't going to be for some sort of a little bit for a right thing as well. And for something like for unknown reasons to reaching over 15 minutes of this video, that wouldn't be able to be surprised for around here, as we're about to separate it. Have I just reviewed for something as well, probably as well for something that I just going to be for one, probably a little bit of reason around for these things as well. So nothing could take around for those things, but eventually I absolutely added around for some sort of rooms and other kinds like any of these things as well for some kind of images as well. So that marks the end of this video that I just already said that once again. The link is going to be in the description below, as you might going to be checking out in this comic creator or comic studio of this main page to browse some comics whenever you want before it gets sued in the future. Thank you for watching, as I'll be signing off, and for all your support for these things as well. And I'll talk to you mini lads and comic studio users all later.